So this is a review of Jungle Cruise, the new Disney movie, and this is a little late. I wasn't actually super, I wasn't like intending to go see this. Like, it wasn't like a priority for me. But our mom wanted to go see it, so figured might as well. Yeah, it's kind of like more or less like, I guess, like what I was expecting. It's pretty standard Disney live action type stuff. Obviously, like, it's based off the Jungle Cruise ride, which I believe is at both Disney World and Disneyland. And so yeah, it's another one of those movies that Disney's making off of their rides for some reason. Like they did with Tomorrowland, and obviously parts of the Caribbean, but at least like parts of the Caribbean at least had a good run at first.
Yeah, this whole movie, I was just sitting watching, I'm like, I just wish I was watching the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie right now. Like, it was so much better than this.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty much like what you expect if you like saw the trailer. Is like, it's your standard like adventure action, gotta go find this thing, and like the lead character played by Emily Blunt, I don't even remember what her name was, is like pretty much
Lily, I think.
Lily, like Disney's pretty standard, like, this is our strong female character,
guys, we gotta have strong women.
Strong women.
Women.
Even though, like, she doesn't really have a whole lot of personality outside of just being a strong, confident woman, and she
wears pants. Oh my god, she's not like the other girls.
And then there's The Rock plays the Jungle Cruise skip tour guide dude. And I mean yeah, like what you expect from me is pretty much like what you're gonna get. Like, it's pretty standard. Like, the jokes are pretty like like, it's like, I'm honestly kind of blanking with it because it's just such a like a standard like nothing of a movie for me. Like, nothing really like stood out about it. There's nothing really special about it. Like, I wasn't like super keen on even going to. I wasn't really interested in even seeing this, but like,
because it just looks stupid.
Yeah. And it honestly the fact that they're making like so many movies out of these rides, and honestly just feels like a cynical cash grab. Same with like the live action remake stuff that they're doing. Like, it's just like something that people recognize, so they'll go see it just because like I went on that ride, I saw that animated movie, so I'll go see the live action one. It's like Disney is pretty much just like out of ideas at this point. Like, yeah. Like those like, I haven't been like super impressed with like what they've been putting out. I mean, Ride the Last, like, their animated stuff is like still pretty good. I mean, Ride the Last Dragon looks good, and Encanto looks good. But other than that, like, I'm just not impressed with, like, they should just
once again, Disney's animated teams are like the only people that like have a clue of what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, like, this just seems like more proof that Disney should stick to animation because that's what they're good at. I mean, obviously, like, there's still a ton of live action stuff that's good, but like, they haven't been making good live action stuff recently because like nothing's like feels like new or original. It's all just the same stuff rehashed over and over. And yeah, so I mean, I guess if like I really have to go into like the plot of this movie, so like there's this scientist played by Emily Blunt, and she's looking for like this petal in like the Amazon jungle or something because
it has like magic,
it's like magic, it'll cure anything, I guess, and like wants to go find it, and she brings her brother with her, and obviously the tour guide is The Rock, and they go on a bunch of zany wild jungle adventures, and yeah, that's pretty much the plot.
Then of course there was another thing with like, the brother is like an openly gay character, and it's like, hey Disney, this is like the 7th time in a row that you've had your first openly gay character. Like, how many times are you gonna keep doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I'll at least give them credit, like, the
at
brother,
least
like,
he's like an actual character this time.
Yeah, like, I'll at least give them credit, like, it wasn't just, like, mentioned in, like, a brief, like, throwaway line, or, like, just a shot that could easily be cut out. Like, it's actually, like, he actually, like, talks about it, like, it's actually, like, a significant part of his backstory. I mean, he doesn't straight up say that he's gay. They still use this very, like, cryptic language, like, oh, I didn't want to marry a woman because my interests, like, lied elsewhere. Like, dude, just say that you're gay. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, it's very obvious what he's talking about, but even still, it's like, they, like, can't say it directly, so they just, like, kind of dance around it. And also, I mean, I guess it could be kind of considered offensive that he's, like, this, like, effeminate gay stereotype, but, I mean, whatever, like...
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, like, I'll at least give them credit that, like I said, like, it is a significant part of his backstory. Like, he talks about how, like, his family, like, basically, like, shunned him and kicked him out for being gay, but his sister took him in, and that's why he's, like, so close with her. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, like, that's not that they're at least, like, that they're, like, making this, like, a significant, like, they're at least, like, exploring this and not just, like...
It's better than gay Joe Russo.
Yeah, and it's better than the queer-baiting shit that they pulled in the Loki series, which I'm still very salty about it. And actually, if I could just go off on a tangent for a second, I've actually been, like, talking with people who are actually, like, non-binary and trans, like, who honestly just found the Loki series, like, really, really offensive because of, like, how little research they actually put into, like, representing, like, non-binary and trans people or whatever. And, like, I mean, obviously, like, this isn't, obviously, we already did our review of the Loki series, so I'm not gonna go into that, but, like, yeah, like, again, like, even though, like, I at least, like, appreciate that they made more of an effort to, like, explore, like, a character being gay in this movie, like, it's still very evident that, like, they don't actually want to, like, ever, like, actually show a character being, like, unapologetically gay, because, no, we still need to make money, from, like, the Russians and the Chinese, and no,
even though they hate our movies, like...
Like, no, we need to, this movie, we need just to have a bunch of, like, stunts and shitty CG and action, because that's what people overseas really want to see. And, like, yeah, also, like, I said, like, this, I mean, some of the CG is pretty okay, like, some of the designs of, like, the jungle and, like, the tree of, like, the magical petals and stuff, some of that looks pretty nice, but, like, they still have, like, CG animals that don't look that great, and...
Also, the villain, it does that same thing like Wonder Woman did, where they portray the Germans as being, like, Nazis, even though it's supposed to be World War I. It's like, guys, the Germans weren't Nazis yet. That wasn't until World War II.
Yeah, so, I mean... I guess we could go into quote-unquote spoilers, but, like...
Do you even care?
No, not really. I guess, like, this will be a very brief review, I guess, because I really don't have that much to say about this movie, to be completely honest. I guess I'd give it, like, a C, C-. Like I said, it's very standard, like, you're pretty much gonna get what you expect, like, it's pretty much, like, if you've seen the trailers, like, you've pretty much seen everything, like...
Emily Blunt's a good actress, I just wish they put her in something better than this.
So yeah, I guess if we're really gonna go into, like, spoilers, like, the quote-unquote twist that, like, The Rock was actually, like, one of the conquistador people, and he's actually, like, immortal or something, and... No, but, they treat it as, like, this big shock, but, like, I was so, like, not invested in the story, I'm like, who cares? Like, I don't give a shit, like, it's, and, like, The Rock's, like, not a bad actor, he's a good actor when he has, like, good material and stuff, and he can still, like, be, like, very, like, charismatic and very charming, but, like, he just picks, like, so many of these just, like, bland, like, uninteresting projects that, like...
Unlike The Game Plan, which we all know was a masterpiece. What was it called? Was that what it was called?
The Game Plan, yeah.
Which we all know was a cinematic masterpiece.
Clearly is. But yeah, like, he's just, like, when he has good material, he can, like, pull off a good performance, but, like, he's just in so many, like, bland movies that are clearly just, like, cynical cash grabs, and, like, this is not, like, the material, the type of stuff that I want to see him in, because, like, it's just not...
I want to see him in Moana 2. What can I say? You're welcome.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much, like, out of I'm sorry, this is such
the editing in this movie is really bad, too.
Yeah. Like they put in, like, a bunch of, like, really bizarre, like, slow-mo shots. It's like, guys, like, okay, slow-mo can look cool if, like, you're, I don't know, like, you're doing it in, like, an in like an actual like epic battle scene, like if like I think that like if it's like in like a Lord of the Rings type thing or like this big epic battle, like that can look, it can look cool then, like if you're doing it for like for like for like a special like I don't know like to like show off an effect or something, but like they just put it in like the most random like bizarre places in this movie. Like there's a scene where like they get shot with like darts and they have this like really prolonged like slow-mo shot of them just like falling to the ground. I'm like, why was that necessary?
It just looked weird.
Yeah.
And there are so many scenes where they're trying to like cram so much like exposition into like one scene, and it's like all fast-paced, like you can't even keep up with like what's going on. I mean, not that you care, but like it's just like they're like just explaining stuff, and you're just like, oh my god, I can't keep track of this and I just don't care. Yeah, well, I was like not even paying attention for how long. I mean, I like got up to use the bathroom because I like was like, I don't care.
But yeah, so I'm sorry this is kind of a shitty review, but like I said, like this is just like
it's not worth your time.
Yeah, like it's just I was just so like not invested. Like why would I even bother like even like giving this like a passionate review when like
there's like a CGI tiger that looks awful.
Yeah,
it's like what is this?
Oh, and like it was so funny that like
there's like barely any like bad puns in it. I mean, they have some like that's what everybody remembers about the Jungle Cruise rides, that the tour guides always like have these like, you know, awful puns, and they barely do it. I mean, there's like some in the beginning and at the end, but I'm like, if you're gonna make how are you gonna make a movie about the Jungle Cruise and not have
you
bad
need to
jokes?
Commit to it.
Yeah, I know.
Like oh yeah, like, it was so funny, like also like the main Lily character played by Emily Blunt, like there's scenes where like she'll like see like animals in a cage and she'll be like you're gonna sell those animals? No, I have to free them, and she'll like just go out of way to like put herself in danger because she has to free the animals, and it's like they're like waving in her face. It's like, see, we have a strong female character.
She's such a good person,
and
she cares
about the animals. See, this is a strong, independent woman character. And
it's like, okay,
really?
We get it. Like, you don't need to like rub it in our faces.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that I was like bored with this movie and more. I mean, Tomorrowland was like not a great movie, but at least with a movie like Tomorrowland, it had like a good directing. Like, I love Brad Bird as a director, and like I'd at least like see what he was trying to do with that movie.
And at least like the effects were cool in that movie and stuff.
I mean, I think Brad Bird I know was a great director. Just I think there was a lot of like studio interference with that movie, and he didn't really get to make the movie that he wanted to make. But like, I mean, I'm nice to that movie just because I love Brad Bird, but like. But yeah, it's like these movies that Disney's making about their rides are not good. And then, like, because Tomorrowland didn't do well, they ended up canceling Tron 3, which is weird to me, because, like, Tron and Tomorrowland don't really have anything to do with each other, other than the fact that they're both, like, science fiction-y movies, I guess. But yeah, for some reason, Disney was like, they were planning to make a sequel to Tron, and then they were like, oh, Tomorrowland didn't do well, so we're gonna cancel Tron now. Which pisses me off, because they were planning to have Cillian Murphy as like the villain in that movie, and now they're making another Tron movie, but it's like a reboot now, and it's with the fucking Jared Leto. With like, I'm like, well, you guys had Cillian Murphy, like one of my favorite actors in Hollywood, and now you have Jared Leto, who's one of my least favorite actors in Hollywood. And of course Daft Punk broke up, so now they're not gonna be doing the score either, so it's like, what's even the point?
So instead of like deciding like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do a Jungle Cruise movie because clearly people aren't interested in seeing movies based off our rides, no, we're gonna cancel Tron 3 because that totally makes sense.
Like, yeah, Tron Legacy wasn't a perfect movie, but like at least it was still better than this. At least it had some really like cool special effects, and of course that Daft Punk score was so beautiful. I miss Daft Punk. I'm sad they broke up. But yeah, it's like, I'd rather have more Tron movies than this. And also, they had like there was a Tron show on Disney XD that was actually like really good, but there was only like one season of it, and then they canceled it, and I'm like, are you serious? So yeah, I'm mad. I'm just looking forward to that ride that's coming out in Disney World next year, but yeah, I'm sad. And now it's like, and they didn't even bring back the guy who directed Tron Legacy. They had like this other guy who I think is okay, but like it's with Jared Leto and it's a reboot, so it's like I don't even want to bother seeing it. Yeah, like if you're gonna make movies about your rides, at least make it good. Like at least, I mean, I know that Pirates of the Caribbean movies started to suck, but at least a couple of first ones were pretty good. Like the first one's like a classic. Like I love that movie.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, like you pretty much like guys like no, like I wouldn't really like recommend seeing this. Like just go see. I mean, I haven't seen. I really want to go see the Suicide Squad because I hear that's really good.
It's just amusing. Yeah, it's like funny to me that they're like the last Suicide Squad movie was like so clearly trying to rip off Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's just actually get the guy who made Guardians of the Galaxy."
Yeah. So honestly, like go see that instead. I haven't even seen that yet, but I hear it's really good, and I do want to go see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I mean, I know that, like, I believe it's rated R, so obviously you can't, like, take your kids to see that.
No, I can take them, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, tons of, like, violence, swearing. No, your kids will be fine.
At least they'll be entertained, unlike with this movie.
Yeah. Cause, yeah, other than that, I mean, like, there's, like, not there's not that much else out right now.
Like, movies are still, like, slowly coming back to life, but it's still slow.
Yeah.
And now there are movies getting delayed because of the Delta variant. I'm like, oh god, here we go again. Get fucking vaccinated so we can see movies again, please.
Get your vaccines, you idiots. Okay, I guess do you wanna talk about any of the trailers, like the Marvel stuff? I mean, I don't know if we already briefly talked about Shang-Chi. I'm pretty excited to go see that. Actually, that actually looks like something in Phase 4 that is not going to suck.
And Eternals, I mean,
Eternals.
Funny thing about Eternals is that like a woman who directed it, I guess when she was showing Kevin Feige footage, because she like was using like actual landscapes and not just like a CGI thing, and Kevin Feige was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! It's like from a camera, like no special effects." And I'm like, Kevin, when is the last time you've been outside? It's like Jesus.
Yeah, I think with, like, Eternals, it's still too soon to tell, like, the teasers didn't really show that much, but yeah, like, it looks beautiful, and I know that the director, I can't remember, is it Chloe something? I can't remember her name. I know that she's a really good director. She just won, like, Best Director for the Oscars last year, so I'm hoping that, we'll get, like, more, trailers for that soon. And, they won't release the goddamn Spider-Man trailer yet.
Gotta hurry up with that.
When are they gonna do that? Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it. Pretty much our thoughts. I don't really recommend this movie. I mean, unless you're, like, really, really desperate for new stuff, because, like, there's not a whole lot out there. But yeah, like, it's not worth your money. Don't give them your money for this. It's definitely not worth $30 on Disney+. So yeah.
Oh god, they do that? They're charging you to see why? It's not worth it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much our thoughts. Hopefully we'll be back soon. And yeah.
Oh, should I maybe mention the thing about Scarlett Johansson? I don't know if Emily Blunt's probably gonna, because like there are all these Scarlett Johansson and now I think Emma Stone are like gonna sue Disney because they had a contract where Disney was supposed to give them a share of the theater profits, but then they also were releasing the movie digitally and not including the actresses in that contract, so now the actresses are suing them, and so I'm wondering if like Emily Blunt or Dwayne The Rock Johnson are gonna end up suing over that as well, because they're doing the same thing with this. Yeah, I mean, and then Disney were like, oh, Scarlett Johansson's being like callous. It's like, hey, didn't you guys open your parks like at full capacity last summer and or something, and like now you're accusing her of being callous because she wanted her fair share? Like it's I don't side with Disney on that, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not the fact that like you released it, like obviously like yeah, like they get that like going to the theater is not like feasible for some people right now, but like
it's the fact that you kept the profits and didn't share them because the contract didn't include like digital releases.
It's like, and yeah, like when like they found out that you were going to do releasing, they tried to like renegotiate the contract so you couldn't like screw them out of their money, but like you wouldn't let them.
Yeah,
so that's
that was a shitty move on Disney's part, obviously. So I'm interested to see if there's gonna be a lawsuit over this movie as well.
Yeah,
I think
so
watching that would be more interesting than actually watching the movie itself.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much our thoughts. Don't really have much else to say. I'm sorry this was kind of a shitty review, but like I said, like I just didn't care about this movie at all. So yeah, we'll see you guys soon, and thanks for watching. Bye!